It's official. I did it. Only took a year and 9 months, but I am a member of the 501st. So I'm going to put it on. I know some of you guys have been wanting me to wear it just to see what it looks like on me. And I'm going to take you through the process of putting it on because it actually is kind of a process to get it on. So we'll go through that. But before I do that, I did make a few adjustments to it before I did submit it for approval. So I'm going to take you through what I did just to keep you caught up with it. So one of the things I did was I moved the strap on the handguards up to the top. It used to be in the middle, which was causing it to shift forward on my hand and not stay where I needed it to stay. So it still slides up a little bit, but it's a lot more comfortable now. I also I was having issues with the fit of the ankle on my left shin. I think I mentioned that in the shin video. So I actually ripped it all apart, which I use E6000 on this, which is great for beginners because, I mean, it's really strong. It's great for everybody, but it's really strong glue that holds. It'll hold, but it also gives you that ability to kind of take it apart if you need to. So I took the shin apart, tried to widen it out a little bit down here. I didn't want to widen it too much because if I had widened it too much, I would have had to make a new cover strip. And ideally, your cover strips are the same size for your shins as they are for the thighs. So I would have had to make new cover strips for all of my legs. And I didn't want to do that. So widened it out a little bit, but unfortunately, it helped a little bit, but not enough. The main issue with the shins wasn't necessarily the shins. It was more the boots though. Because even with the right shin, I had this issue with the boot where the shin would fit over the boot. I could get it to fit over the boot. But what would happen is if I bend my ankle too much, typically when I'm walking downstairs, the shin would pop off of the boot and then I couldn't get it back on while I'm wearing the armor. So I ended up buying new boots from imperialboots.com. These are perfect. These are like amazing boots. I don't know why I put off buying them. I was trying to cheap out on the boots. Don't cheap out on your boots. But you can see here that they're taller. They're taller, first of all, and the ankle's much narrower. So even with the left shin here, I could slide it on very easily. And if it would pop off, it would go back on easily. There wouldn't be any problem. But that would never happen because the shin actually can't slide up my leg far enough to pop off. I'm so happy. This is the best purchase that I made for the armor. Don't cheap out on your boots. You can even see here I was trying to like rig up any way that I could think of to keep the boot from the shin from falling off the boot. I had snaps on the inside of the shin and the strap here. I had Velcro on the front. I had some Velcro on the sides at some point. Oh, yeah, it's still there. I couldn't figure it out. Just get good boots. Get good boots. An issue I had with the abdomen or the torso was that the kidney plate here, you can see it wants to flare out on the sides. So in order to, you can see on this side, there's a tab sticking out there. And then on this side, I have two here. The reason why there's two here is because there's rivets for a more screen accurate look. Tabs just slide in to there's little slots. There's slots on the other side on the abdomen. And it just keeps it from flaring out, and also keeps the top of the abdomen and the top of the kidney plate flush with each other, which is something you want to strive for. I got that idea from a guy called Panda Trooper. His link's down in the description, but I think he was doing it to keep the top flush, but I wanted it for the flare. Another thing I did over here was because of these tabs and stuff, I switched out the strapping in here. I had snaps on the sides, but I am now using Velcro on the top and the bottom, and that's just so I can keep this as tight as I can, because this tab also will keep the sides together exactly where they need to be. So you can't go too tight. They stop each other from going too tight. So I switched it to elastic with Velcro instead. I don't know if I'd shown what I had here before. I had other rivets in here before, but they were pretty bad. So I switched them out for more screen accurate. They're actually split rivets or bifurcated rivets. Then you just paint the tops of them white, and that's just for an extra level screen accuracy. It's not required for just entry level. And the last thing I did was, while I was on Imperial Boots buying my boots, they had like a helmet padding kit, which it's not unique to their store, but I figured since I was on there buying the boots, I might as well buy that anyway. And I just put that in there instead of the crapo DIY padding that I had in there before. So that's all the adjustments that I made. Let's get in the suit. All right, so the first thing that obviously I have the undersuit on and my neck seal there. I usually like to put my neck seal on and then put my shirt on just so that it's all tucked in neatly underneath the neck seal. And then the first thing you start with is the thighs. The thighs just slide on like most of the other limbs except for the calves will just slide on. Now I don't like fasten the thighs into place first. I will just slide them over my feet and then I put my boots on. I find that's the easiest way to get the boots on because once the thighs are in place with the garter belt, then it makes it really hard to bend over to get down and put your boots on. So that's just how I've found. Plus, I could sit down if I wanted to at this point and also put the boots on that way. I think getting the boots on is probably one of the hardest parts of this whole dressing process. You can see in the back of don't tell my Garrison leaders, but the back of my shirt has a logo on it. I have to black that out with a fabric marker. And there's the garter belt for the thighs. It just goes around my waist and then just goes through the loops on the tops of the thighs. It's a little hard to see with all the black. But yeah, it just goes through the loops, and then we just buckle it closed, and the thighs stay in place. I got a little fat in the over a year and a half, almost 2 years that I've been working on this. Gained a lot of weight, so my belt's a little tight now, and I refuse to loosen it. But yeah, that'll hold it in place. I used to keep the belt on the thighs while I had it stored, but since I'm using that armor stand, I like to loop it on. There's a little PVC pipe in the waist area that I use to loop the thighs on there. And then I just put the garter belt off to the side. Next comes the shins. They're pretty self-explanatory. This is the only piece of limb armor that actually isn't permanently closed. You just sort of open it up in the back and slide it over the shin there. I use Velcro for mine to keep it closed. A lot of guys originally they used elastic with the bra hooks to close them up, but Velcro works fine. Same thing with the other one. And these, like I said, with these new boots, the shins fit so much better. Okay, and that's the legs. Good to go. Next up is the torso. And all of this is just basically one piece. It can come apart. The way that I have it put together, it can come apart, but usually just keep it together. And it's got this clamshell design. You sort of slide it over over the side. And then I always start with a shoulder strap. So I'm just reaching for the shoulder strap on the right side there. Shoulder strap there with some snaps. It just snaps to the chest plate. I think I might tighten my shoulder straps up a little bit. I loosen them a lot just to get a better fit. And then there's a snap elastic with snap that connects the butt plate to the cod piece. I was struggling here. I don't usually struggle with snapping this on there. There we go. And then you can see a little bit better where the tab slides into the slot that I made there, and I just slide that in there. I always struggle with this connection. Even when it was snaps, it was actually it's a little bit easier with Velcro, but it's still kind of a struggle to just kind of get the slot in there and then pull it out, pull the Velcro strap as tight as I can. Bottom one's pretty easy to get in there, but top one's a little hard. There we go. And that's the torso. We just need our belt. The belt lines up the top of the plastic of the belt lines up just right around the bottom button. The bottom of the bottom button on your ab plate there. I've got some Velcro on the abdomen and the belt to sort of keep it in place a little bit. Oh, this part's like the hardest. Like, it's pretty hard to get that lined up without looking. That's something that, you know, your handlers or another trooper can probably help you out with. And then getting the O2 canister on there too. You want to kind of keep it centered and also try to keep it straight. I didn't actually get the Velcro on the one side of my belt, so my belt is kind of falling down on the one side. You'll see that when I turn around. You can kind of see it there. It's not straight. Sorry about the focus. I didn't want to use my webcam, but that's all I had available. Yeah, you can see my belt's a little crooked on the one side. Next to the arms you just slide into. There's a snap at the top of the shoulder belt that snaps onto your shoulder strap. I think my connection, there's an elastic, piece of elastic that connects the bicep to the shoulder, and I gotta adjust that on both of them because they're not really, they keep popping off a little bit. This part's a little tricky getting that snap in there. Doing the first arm isn't bad because I got complete mobility of my arm. It's getting the second one. My arm can't move. Don't have full range of motion with the armor on my arm. Makes it a little bit tricky getting the second one. There's that snap. And getting these off is a lot harder than getting them on. I need to get new straps for my shoulders. And I might double layer them just to make them a little tighter so that it's not, you can see when I'm wearing the armor too that it's like the shoulder bells of the arms are pulling the shoulder straps away. They're just too stretchy. I gotta try to stiffen them up a little bit. But yeah, this one's a little bit harder. Just a little bit. It's not too bad. Again, that can be something that another trooper can help you with, or a handler can help you with. There we go. Arms on. Next is the gloves. Now here, I got another pair of gloves. They're like work gloves. I got out of the automotive department at Walmart. They're just all black, except for that little blue ring around that you don't ever see. But I got these because they breathe a little bit better. They breathe a lot better than, they're still hot, but they breathe a lot better than rubber gloves. Just mainly for trooping. But this is a little closer, I think, to what the Empire Strikes Back gloves were like. They might have been silk though. I can't remember. I do want to eventually get latex handguards for the rubber gloves to make it more screen accurate. There's the handguards there. They just slide on. Perfect. And the final piece, the helmet. A lot of people don't realize you have to put the helmet on sideways. I've got a big head too, so I've been struggling lately. It was a lot easier to get it on at first, but lately, I don't know. I don't know if my head's growing or what, but it's kind of been a struggle to get it in there. I'm still figuring out the padding too. It's making my helmet really not quite align where I want it to, so I gotta like tweak that a little bit. You can see here, it's like it's not sitting quite right on my head. It looks fine. There we go. That is the whole thing. Again, I think my belt is still a little. It's definitely a lot. I did not get the belt on right for this. I might switch it out to snaps eventually once I'm like happy with the placement and everything. But there it is. I'm really happy with this build. I'm really excited. Dream come true here. I'm now a Stormtrooper. Getting it off's a little tricky too. My head's been getting stuck a lot. All right, guys, so that is the Stormtrooper done, and well, I wouldn't quite say dusted. I do want to do some more adjustments to the shoulder strapping and the shoulder belt strapping, and maybe some other straps too, but I won't share that with you guys. That's just like little things that it's not a big deal. But I do plan on actually putting in some fans and a microphone system inside the helmet, and I something that I know you can buy kits. See, people sell kits of those, but that's that kind of thing is like another hobby of mine that I don't really get a lot of time to work on. So I'm going to take this as an opportunity to sort of work on that hobby. And when I do, I will share with you guys what I do for that. So with that being said, what's in store for the future as far as like costuming and prop and stuff? Well, I don't have a blaster. Well, I do have a blaster, but it's a Ruby's blaster. It needs a little bit of work. Ruby's makes some really decent costuming props. Some of it's crap. They do have like actually a decent selection of props too as a base to start with. And I got this for 20 bucks. And then I got 4 more for $14 a piece. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a video where I take these and we're going to just make a real quick, cheap, decent version, passable version of a blaster. And then go all the way up to as screen accurate as we can get. This will never be 100% screen accurate, but we can get pretty close. We can get pretty close, I think. It's going to take some work, but I think that'll be fun, a fun little video. It's going to have to wait till the spring, though, because it's going to require a lot of sanding, a lot of painting, and I can't do that inside. So yeah, be on the lookout for that one. But just, subscribe if you haven't already. Another thing that I would like to do eventually way down the line is I want to get another costume. And I'm really leaning toward a Scout Trooper. Before I even finished this one, I was like, I want to do a Scout Trooper. Scout Troopers are actually my favorite incarnation of the Stormtrooper from the original trilogy, from all the trilogies. I love the Scout Trooper. But yeah, that's what I want to do next. But I'm interested to see what you guys would do it doesn't have to be Star Wars related, could be Star Wars related. But if if you're working on a costume right now, let me know in the comments. If it's your dream to have a specific kind of costume, just let me know. Let me know what that is. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say. But other than that, guys, that's it. We're done. We're wrapping this one up. Thanks everybody for watching and coming with me on this journey. It's been pretty wild, and I'm still so excited about it. I can't believe it. We're done. We finished it. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. See you in the next one.